Is it Wednesday? Oh, no, it's Thursday? All right. Yeah, I guess so. I thought it was... Jeez, yeah, I guess so. Holy moly. Hello, everyone. This is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance and Netta for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to get into what we are shipping out today on Thursday. I thought it was Wednesday. I guess the days have been going by fast. Still a lot of good sales. We're just going to jump right into it. This right here is U.S. Navy scenarios for U.S. Navy Plan Red. This is going to be like one of those vintage board games. I forgot what company. Oh, Avalanche Press right here. But yeah, this is just the rule book. People can like spill drinks on these and then they need to get replacements. This ended up going for $10 plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping. All right, next up is going to be Vanguard Saga of Heroes. This is some kind of, is this a, yeah, PC video game. This is going to be like a collectible art book. Sometimes these video games and these PC games will have, and even board games at this point, have these extra like art books and little, sometimes you have to get like collector's editions or Kickstarter editions. But yeah, never played this particular game. Looks like some cool fantasy art. I like fantasy games and stuff. So someone's probably just going to enjoy this. $22. It's probably going to be like a nice little gift or extra for someone. They must be really into the game. All right, moving along. This is going to be the Dungeons and Dragons to Forgotten Realms. They have a bunch of these trading cards. This is a lot of 25 of them from 1992. This is going to be the ones that have the gold borders right here, so it's nothing too special. But yeah, these ended up going for $9.45. I remember I had like some black border ones, and they were like these Gen Con, which is a convention promo versions. Those sold for a lot more. So yeah, people have been collecting these D&D cards. I got a bunch of these a long time ago. This is the first time it's sold in a while. My brother also sells cards, and he happened to run across a bunch of these D&D cards. He has like 600 or so individual. He'll do like individual ones, and I've been watching his stuff, and he's been selling those ones, and then all of a sudden this sold. So I sent him a screenshot. I'm like, oh, something must be going on. There must be hype around these old D&D cards. This sold for, like I said, $9.45 for a lot of 25. I still have a couple other lots. I got those a long time ago. Sell them slowly. All right. Next up is going to be a mug, Tasmania Devil right here. People love this Looney Tune character right here. This is like an old listing. I used to get a bunch of mugs when we were first going into thrift stores. So it's kind of like the only thing that I was good at, where Netta was good at like a bunch of stuff. And then I was like always checking out the mugs, trying to figure out which like characters and brands and ones people would like. But yeah, this ended up going for $10.50. That's about the average, like $10 for a mug. Sometimes you can get more if you get lucky, and sometimes less. All right. Moving along, this was a really good sale. This is going international. This is going to be almost a complete version of Civilization Wisdom, and I forgot what the second part's, but it's going to be an expansion for the Civilization board game. I want to say this is by Fantasy Flight Games, but I could be wrong. So it's missing about like 10 or so pieces, and it's also missing the box. This is going international, so they're going to actually probably save a bunch of money. The box is going to be like a bigger, chunky box. But yeah, people like this Civilization strategy game. People like the video game as well. I haven't played either of them. They definitely look like up my alley, but I don't have enough time to play all the board games and all the video games. But yeah, this one ended up going for $83.99. It's incomplete. These expansions to these expensive vintage board games are usually more expensive than the base game, because the base game would come out, the company would make whatever, let's just say 1,000. The expansion comes out, they only make like 100 or 200. They will have some kind of like math in their head of the ratio of how many people actually stuck with the base game and how many people want to actually get like an expansion. So they end up being like really rare and more expensive, and they're good, like they're fun, and they add extra stuff and they expand your game. All right, next up is gonna be a lot of 3. We got a bunch of choose your own adventure books a long time ago. These are Dragon Tales, so some kind of fancy ones. It's like number 4, where's the other numbers? Oh, they're on the fronts. 4, 2, and then we have 14. So just a lot of 3 of them. There's a little bit of wear on them, like on the edges, but like that's about it. You could still open them up, read all the pages. It's still bound at the binding right there. But yeah, $20 for this, so someone's gonna appreciate the choose your own adventure stuff. We like them as well, and we got a bunch of unique ones that I never heard of when we got that collection. It was a really cool collection, probably one of my favorite collections we've ever gotten. All right, next up is going to be this particular toy. It's a fire station. I think it's like the company's like Green Toys or something like that. Yeah, Green Toys. This is a super, super old listing. We've been selling a lot of our old listings, a lot of our like home goods and like toys and stuff, like the non-nerdy stuff has been selling pretty well since last month. A lot of this stuff just like wasn't selling for almost like a year and a half. So it's ended up going only for $7.50. Not something I would get like around this time, this far in our eBay journey. but we probably only spent like $1.50 at like a thrift store waiting for like the sticker price to go half off, something like that. All right, moving along, we got a combo order. This is gonna be a bunch of metal miniatures. They like this 7 Years War, so they got a lot of 18 right here, and then they got some cavalry. There's 28 right here, and then they ended up picking like an individual figure right here. This combo order went for $46.17. So yeah, they're gonna enjoy these, paint them up, maybe use them for a game or for display. All right, moving along, got a Lord of the Rings trading card game from, not like the Magic ones. This is like the actual trading card game right here by Decipher. I believe there was also another company, I think, the Middle Earth one by ICE, which is Iron Crown Enterprises. That's way more expensive. Never gotten that stuff. Lost in an auction recently. But yeah, this is going to be Gorgoroth Assassin right here. So yeah, it's a rare card, so I did lots for the commons and uncommons, and for the rares, the foils, I'll list separately. I got like Lord of the Rings cards at like 3 different places at this point, so I forgot which particular place I got this at. But yeah, this sold for $7. Yeah, they kind of sell slowly. There's a lot of these cards. It's really cool. Like, people can play a dead card game, and Lord of the Rings is always popular. So someone might just be picking this up because they like the particular character. They like the art. They have a lot of art from the movies. So yeah, $7 for that one. All right. Next up, I got Kingdom Death Monster, which is a boutique survival horror board game. Really expensive. I happen to have the base game. I have actually a ton of expansions. I have 1.5. I have the Gambler's Chest. I have a lot of this stuff. I don't have everything. There's a lot of stuff, but I have a lot of the playable stuff. But yeah, this is going to be, I happen to run across, the Phoenix is going to be a tier 3 monster that you fight, but particularly with Kingdom Death Monster, you would get these miniatures that you have to build, and the Phoenix was kind of like a pain. It had a lot of these little tiny hands that you had to like figure out which spots to put them into, and there's not good instructions. You just open up the box and best of luck build it. So people made online guides. So this is one particular sprue for the Phoenix. It does not have any of the tiny hands. It has like one wing. This is going to be I think also like his behind, 2 of his big arms, and then there's like some parts of his face, and then his mouth right there. So just one sprue, $19.59. Maybe the person wanted to have extra stuff. Maybe theirs broke, like maybe a part of like the wing broke, and they're like, they don't want to buy a whole new one because it comes in the base game. I don't think you can get the Phoenix separates, or maybe old products. I'm not too sure. But yeah, $19.59 for this. Super cool board game. I haven't played it in a while. I want to, there's too many games and too little time. All right, next up is going to be, like, I started my Gambler's Chest, which is like a huge expansion. I only got like, you play Lantern Years, which is like sessions, and I'm only like 10 or so sessions in. All right, next up is going to be, these are Mare Nostrum Empires. I think I said that right. I looked them up when I got them. These are just dice for this board game or miniature game. It has Roman numerals for them. There's white and blue. Got a bunch of like a cool little like dice collection bag that it's been selling pretty well. $18.19. I forgot that dice do pretty well in the holidays. I mean, people always like dice, so it's like whenever, but I've been selling more, I think, because it's like nice little gifts, and they're like relatively cheap for someone to get someone. Like $18, someone would be happy. They're like, oh, you got me specialized dice for my game. All right. Next up is going to be a HeroClix figure. This is a rare one. This is Madame Hydra. I don't actually remember what set this one's from. I guess the Shield. I wasn't around for this set. I think this was beyond my time in HeroClix. So yeah, this is actually a super rare. Right here is the set symbol. This is going to be like it's like a golden / bronze. Like, you know, people kind of debate gold, bronze, and also the printing color sometimes is slightly different from set to set. But yeah, here's the card with all the stats, and then here's the figure. Pretty cool one. She has like the staff. I don't remember this particular Madame, but I do remember all the Hydra stuff within the Shield universe. $6.99 for the rare, or the super rare. All right, so someone's going to appreciate that one. Next up is going to be Games Workshop North and South America. This is going to be like a retailer poster. This is super cool because it shows, like, it'll say like right here, Michigan, and it showed all of the different shops that they used to have, they call them like bunkers and stuff, basically retail shops for Warhammer stuff. And they had like the phone number for this places. They would have the location and then like the actual shop name. So this is like kind of like a cool piece of history for Warhammer, 40K and fantasy, but like outside of the game. So it's not like lore for in the game. It's actually for outside, like where people could play. I had a couple of these at some point. This is my last one. That's why I actually used to have a note here that says this top one is listed. I used to have like, I think I had like 5 or 6. So I would take out the top one, take pictures, make sure that there wasn't any rips, because whenever I don't check is when I'll just like relist something later on when another one sells. They're like, oh, there was like, you know, an issue somewhere. It's never like going to be a big deal unless if the issue is huge. But I like to relist with new pictures for everything, even something that looks like it's going to be the same. I hope that made sense. That's a big ramble. $15.75 for this. All right, moving along. I have to test this one more time because the person was like messaging me a bunch about it, and I was just super busy, so I didn't get back to them. But we got a bunch of coin banks. If you get like really cool coin banks, this is a like an actual, I think it's iron one. Is it iron? I forget the, yeah, it's an actual cast iron. There you go. Super cool one. And then Annetta would get these things at like online auctions and stuff. So this is an elephant that you like press the tail and then it puts the coin into the elephant right there. But yeah, this ended up going for $26.24. A lot of that, it's heavy. This is actual iron. So that's a cool one. I have to test it one more time for the person to double check. My notes on the listing says that I tested and it worked, but because they were asking over and over again, I'll make sure. Get a little nervous. Like usually when we get a lot of questions, there's usually more problems later on during the line, but they paid for it, got to ship it out. I'm not going to like cancel. All right. Last up is going to be these wrist weights right here. Not something we usually get. I think we just got this for free from someone. I think it was just like kind of like in passing. They're like, oh, you do eBay, do you want these? And I was like, sure, I guess. Why not? Why not? So I thought that maybe they wouldn't sell because they're actually heavy, because you put them on your wrist and they're weights. You're literally selling weights. $11.20 plus shipping. So someone got it for the holidays. They just want to, you know, stay fit for putting some resistance on their wrists. All right. That's everything. Is that everything? I think that's everything. That's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to help support us. Take a look at our links down below. Have a good one.